Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everybody.
Salam.
Sister Amnah Shaari, glad to see you and to meet you online. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And we also have our established speaker after Madam Amnah Shaari, that is Miss Gemma Ali.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Miss Gemma Ali. Glad to see you online. And also we have the final speaker, Dr. Damir Alihodzic from Bosnia.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum from Bosnia.
So, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, a warm greetings for everybody, our respected speakers as well as our audience. And today we shall commence again the third day of the International Halal Conference, seventh series. And today's theme conference is Navigating a VUCA World with Integrity. We will look into innovation, digitalization, and authority in halal system in order for us to build a strong foundation based on ethical integrity and trust. We hope also that this event will be able to strengthen the governance and institutional confidence in uncertain times as of today. We hope that this event will be able to serve as a platform to start the ball rolling on discussion of processes as well as turning values and social mechanism into action, inshallah. And we hope that this will spur ideas, concepts, and turning it into practical action to help contribute into halal resilient economy, besides supporting the human capital development and also enable global cooperation and sustainability across all regions and also multiple sectors, not only the industry, but also the consumers as well as the government agencies. And last but not least, for the Muslim global population and also to add benefits to the whole humanity and Ummah. As we approach the third day of our 7th edition International Halal Conference, the theme of our three speakers will cover technology. And today is a very interesting point. Innovation, digitalization, and authority in halal systems will focus on authority in halal interpretation, digital amplification of trust and risk, and also guardrails against fragmentation and abuse. So I now call upon Ms. Amnah Shaari, who is Group CEO Serunai Commerce Sdn Berhad, as well as founder, to provide her first speech on digital trust as a pillar of halal assurance. Please welcome.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon from Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. So right. So I will speak in not long, about 10 to 15 minutes perhaps. And then from there, we will talk further, for Q&A. Digital trust is a big thing, as you know. Halal itself has to be renewed every year or every 2 years in order to be valid. It's not forever and ever. So because of that, this is where for our company called Serunai Commerce, since 15 years ago, especially for the last 10 years, we really we develop 14 suites of technology that we can give to the government, to the halal centers, and to the companies, with all the traceability intact in order to make sure the digital trust for halal is there. This is where we can also trace from whether they are vegan, whether they are organic and more, and the origin of the country. One moment, yeah, I realized that I do not have my slide here. Madam, now we can see that. Is it all right now? Right.
Yeah, I can see the slide now.
Okay, good. So this is what we built. Digital trust is important because next intern, as you know that it's close to 5 trillion economy. I think everybody knows that already. But 85% is produced by non-Muslim countries. It's fine. That means that even the non-Islamic countries adopted to it, which is good. And that means now it's become a hot topic for everybody. So that's more so because Muslims are more intelligent, more educated, that we want to know what we're eating. Next. So the way we built the digital trust is also because there's so many fake halal in the country, in the world today. And next, intern. This is where we work with Islamic Development Bank to make sure that we give our technology to all the OIC countries to enable them also to trace and track all the halal certification bodies, including the companies that they serve. Yeah, intern, next. So these are the suite of technology. And of course, we have a consultancy as well. But with Islamic Development Bank, we work with the government of each country for the OIC countries. Although Fiji is the first country that is not Islamic, that we try the system and it's working now. Yeah, I think we do not need to go through all the system, although it has, we have 4 patents at the moment, including Hadik. Hadik is Halal Digital Chain. So if the clients or the government would like to have that, this is where we're able to part this technology with them. Next. It's a long way partnership. It's a private-public partnership with our government and also with the other OIC government, certain countries, not all at the moment. Next. Next, intern. And this is where we advise also for the certification bodies to follow the JAKIM system, the JAKIM halal standard, which is very important because we don't adopt other principle beside JAKIM. Next. And this is where we work with many halal certification bodies around the world. Next. This is, I think everybody knows that. Through our research, there are more than 400 certification bodies in the world, and it's still popping. For example, Russia has more than 100 certification bodies. But the one that recognized by JAKIM, only 2 at the moment. Even in Australia, there are more than 50, even Japan, more than 50, but it's only 6 or 7 in Japan that's recognized by JAKIM. So today, Malaysia recognized more than 90 plus certification bodies, close to 50 countries, as you know. And this, every 2 years, our government will audit this certification bodies, whether they are valid or not valid. This is why we see certain certification body is not in the system of JAKIM as a recognized certification body from time to time. Next. But I must say, all the system today, when we research, 96% of all the certification bodies, they are doing manually or a very basic system where they have not have a proper integrated system to manage their application of halal, the traceability of products, and also the recipes that involve with all the companies that they serve. So we also realize there's a rampant fake certification bodies in the world today where they use JAKIM's logo or other people's logo or other certification body logo. And as you know, there is a fake halal logo that they use. So this is how 10 years ago, we wanted this system to be in order to trace all these products and services that in all the countries in the world. We're in 22 countries, not every country, but inshallah, one day we will reach there. Although Malaysia and Indonesia have a very stringent law on fake halal, but still it's still very rampant, even in these two countries, which is Indonesia and Malaysia. Next. So we work with Interpol as well as a result because of this, because halal is a trademark. Halal is hygienic and wholesome, and if you copied it unnecessarily, of course, there's contamination and so on and so forth, and it's, in some cases, is even hazardous to human being. Because it was not prepared properly. So with this work that we are doing, we are very proud to work with Interpol to educate Interpol to also nab people that are doing fake halal. Next. So as you know, we have 9 categories of halal for Malaysia, and of course it is evolving, and each division has more categories. I do not need to elaborate that. Next. And this is where we are, the technology. I don't want to go further. So the idea is data. If we have a correct data, we give it to the certification body. The certification body share that data with us. And today, we have Verify Halal app. It's already 8 years where we are the sole partner of JAKIM today. So we work with 22 countries. We have close to 3 million over SKU in the system. So for example, JAKIM, we have all 1.2 million SKU in our system. Anywhere in the world is free for Ummah to access and check the product and services in there. In fact, we also have all the restaurants. So this is why for us, this is the trusted data. So we only work with government, with the certified certification bodies, with full traceability of the data to the government and the Halal Center and the companies, for example. Yeah, I like to end actually my ada lagi. Is there another slide, Intan? I think that should be okay. So this is the Verify Halal app, which is free for Ummah, where you can see the manufacturer, from which halal certification bodies and so on and so forth. It's already almost 8 years, and we're the only company that JAKIM trusts to manage their data to date. Yeah, Puan Alina, so perhaps over to you now. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Amnah, you are too fast. Alhamdulillah. But actually, that leaves many of us, I'm sure the audience has many questions in line with you. So I hope you will bear with us and stay for the much awaited session of panel discussion.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
I believe that although Malaysia, JAKIM is very familiar with Verify Halal and your established names, I'm sure that many more wants to know more about the details of you, as well as the halalness and how they can actually plug in to adapt and adopt, because I believe what you are presenting is able to provide quick solution as well as providing a sound foundation for the system, because I noted that you said around 95 to 96% certifying body still on manual system, and it is still not yet integrated. So there's a lot of things to be done. Okay, Miss Amnah, I think we put you on hold, and all right, and
no problem.
We will now allow our Madam Saadia. Oops, sorry, I was reading tomorrow's event. Sorry, Miss Gemma. Okay, tomorrow I'll be also hosting Miss Gemma Ali, founder and CEO of Halal Animal Welfare Association. Who knows, maybe Miss Gemma can also be part of the team of Miss Amnah also in the future. Wallahu alam. Okay, so let us please welcome Miss Gemma Ali, founder and CEO of Halal Animal Welfare Association UK, to provide her title of Sharing Knowledge, AI, Data and Automation, Ethical Governance in Digital System. Please welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, very clear.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
good. Good. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Yeah. Okay, so today I am going to go through, hang on, I've got a toolbar in the way. Here we go. So I'm going to go through AI, blockchain, and automation, how they're tools, but not necessarily replacements for ethics in our supply chains. So this doesn't just have to be limited to animals specifically, but just looking at business ethics as well, and where maybe this technology is really good for us, but it could cross over with some ethical issues, especially as there's still a bit of lack of regulation, and how we still need a little bit more human oversight as we develop these systems. Okay, so we had a bit of global context already, but yeah, our halal economy, alhamdulillah, it is growing very fast across the globe into the trillions. Our growth is driven by safety and trust, but also ethics as well. So this is not just Muslims, so non-Muslims now as well are looking for halal because it's getting a reputation of being clean and pure, and that's what they want to consume and that's what they want to buy. Okay, so alongside of that though, consumers are demanding transparency in what they're buying, and also welfare assurance. So if it is a meat product or maybe a cosmetic or something that has to have some sort of animal involvement, they would like the welfare assurance that we are doing everything we can to make sure animals are being treated as well as possible. That said, because we have an international supply chain, some of these areas can be very complex. Every culture has a different view of animal welfare. There are laws and regulations and safety that might require some sort of testing. Okay, and like government policies are very different around the world regarding ethics as well and welfare. So this is something that we have to unify with and try our best to keep the ethics going across the whole supply chain. And so why ethics must lead the technology? So obviously our halal is rooted in Sharia ethics, so welfare, purity, and also accountability as well. So we're all, alhamdulillah, accountable to Allah with what we do with our business dealings and the products that we make for the community. So we want our technology to support this, okay? But we don't want to override our moral responsibility. Okay, it's very easy for us if we have the funding to do so, to put a robot in place or some sort of system. But then what are we doing as Muslims to make sure that that is still the ethical and like moral ground that we would like? And of course, halal certification is built on trust. Okay, when a consumer goes out there to buy something, they are looking for a certain certifier. So now consumers are becoming more aware of the different certifiers in our countries, and they're starting to look for certain ones specifically when they buy a product. Okay, so we want to keep that trust going with our certification, and if we can, nationally and internationally, have a foundation of trust. So they know if they go abroad or a different part of the country that everything is, you know, a unified standard that is checked by everybody. And of course, our ethical governance, we do want it human-led, not just because maybe we don't trust a computer fully right now, but because we need to keep our ummah in employment. So we don't want computers and AI to just fully take over our jobs, because then what is left for us? What is left for our children and our grandchildren? Okay, we need to think about the social aspect as well. So like our corporate social responsibility. So the challenges that we face, we do still have a lot of fraud and mislabeling risks. Maybe not so much where halal is more in policy and law, but in the West, we still have a lot of issues here where halal is not legally defined. So people can literally print the word halal and put it in the window, and everybody will just believe that it's halal and not really check. Okay, this happens sometimes. Or there's mislabeling risks where there's been a break in the supply chain. So when it gets to the consumer, maybe if you checked where that came from, there may have been a compromise. We do have fragmented certification standards. So here in the UK, for example, our certifiers, alhamdulillah, they do a good job, but they do have different standards. Okay, so depending on what the consumer then decides is the correct halal standards, they will look for that certifier. But ideally, we want to unite in these standards and decisions. We might have limited supply chain traceability if things are done manually, which is what technology can help with, especially blockchain, where you put the process in at every single point of the chain. So that might help the end user to be able to look up and see where things came from. And animal welfare inconsistencies as well. So there is a slight break in the chain where our halal certifiers will come in at maybe animal feed level and at slaughter level. But then we have this huge industry in the middle at farms and transport where what's going on with the animals there? Are we using assurance schemes? Is that being logged in our chain? Like we need to make sure that these ethics and welfare considerations are upheld all the way through. And documentation as well sometimes can have some inefficiencies, especially if things are manual. People make mistakes. Okay, things get missed, especially if you're in a fast-paced environment. So technology could help us potentially have that input to make sure that everything is logged as we go along. So with regards to artificial intelligence, so our AI ecosystem, we could have automated compliance monitoring. I know this is being put into place in some areas, which is helpful if we have the algorithms correct. It can detect contamination risks that maybe the human eye can't see or we may not have noticed because of speed of processing. We can use predictive analysis for welfare and health as well. So we can actually build models, computer models to tell if there's potentially a risk with our compliance issues. Fraud detection. So like I was saying, putting things in a computer at every single step of the supply chain will help us see where something has maybe gone wrong or where something is not being fully transparent. So we can then question what is going on there. And it helps with decision support for auditors. So at the moment, if an auditor goes in, they might have a technology log or they may have paperwork, depending on what system you're using, depends where you are in the world. AI will help us to maybe build a more robust system to actually log what we are monitoring and what we are seeing, so then we can track for improvements to help each other around the world to see where we can improve the process. So specifically for animal welfare, we do have sensor-based welfare systems. And what they do is they will look at stress, movement, temperature. Also, animals will have tags that will tell you how much they've eaten that day, what their portion is of that food. If they get lost, we can trace them, a bit like Find My iPhone if you have an escaped animal. So it is really helpful, this AI, to actually be able to track every animal, because doing an individual health check, if you've got a huge herd of animals, is time consuming. So being able to have that data in a system and having a look at maybe different points of the season or the year or the food that you're using in a computer form is helpful for efficiency. It helps with early disease detection. So it could be that you've put some sort of monitoring tag on an animal, and then you can look through the cameras and the sensors to see that maybe it's not standing up today. It's not eaten for a few days. You know, it's avoiding or doing certain behaviors, which then alerts you to that one particular animal to then go and detect the disease or what's going on there quite quickly. AI can help with transport and handling as well. We have lots of issues with animal transport, especially if they're doing long distance, so maybe like live transport, or if they're on lorries for a long time, because we're having issues with slaughterhouses being close. So AI can help with the like the environment of the lorries and the animals as well. So is it too hot? Is it too cold? Are they starting to feel that stress? Is their temperature going up? Are they moving around too much so they can end up hurting themselves? So AI is very helpful in that sense. And then over time, it helps to reduce suffering through those real-time alerts. You know, if you've suddenly got alert in the back of your lorry that it's too hot, you know, if the chickens are overheating, for example, and they're going to die, the lorry driver is alerted straight away. He can stop and then sort out the issue rather than waiting until they get all the way to the end and seeing what has happened. So blockchain, this has actually been used with some producers from the UK going to the Middle East. It probably has been used around the world as well. It just depends what media report we get here. So this helps with records of slaughter and certification. So where did the animal come from? How was it slaughtered? Who certified it? It gives that farm to fork traceability for every single step. So you can literally look at the genetics of that animal, where it was born, look at its parent stock as well, and then it will follow the chain all the way through until it reaches the butcher or the consumer. It is tamper resistant, so once you put the block in, you cannot undo it. It will have to be completed to go to the next block. I mean, if you do make a mistake and need to undo it, you would probably have to start the entire chain again. It depends how that blockchain has been developed in the last few years, something that I'd have to research myself. But the idea is that it's tamper resistant to stop the fraud, which then enhances the consumer confidence because we know, okay, that's gone through blockchain. That means they have looked at every single step. And alhamdulillah, that my product is 100% halal and they have, you know, this robust system in place. So what does it do? It tracks that provenance and handling stages as well. It prevents substitution and fraud, ideally. That's what we are aiming for here. It enables cross-border verification. So we try really hard, alhamdulillah, across the globe to have these unified standards or recognized standards. So a lot of the Western countries or maybe Europe will try to get, for example, JACIM accreditation because then we know that we can export. So this blockchain and traceability helps us to do international trade without this extra step or these extra procedures because that importing country can see on the blockchain that we did follow all of those procedures. And then it will support those unified global standards. So automation specifically in the operations of halal, we can use robotics for hygienic processing. So obviously our meat needs to be clean and wholesome, our work areas, we don't want cross-contamination with anything haram. Muslim countries here, you have this a little bit better than we do. Because here, if for some reason we have issues with abattoirs, we may have to use one that's, you know, slaughter something haram maybe a few days ago. We have to make sure everything is fully cleaned before we do halal processing. So robotics can help with that. And they can also identify any disease issues that are going through the operations process, so you can get rid of those straight away. We can have automated documentation audit trails, so like I was saying, through the blockchain, for example. We could have smart certification workflows. So using that smart data and the Internet of Things to make sure that all of our processes are in place so there's no compromisation of halal requirements. And ideally, it should reduce human error and contamination risk. So like I was saying, we still need an element of humans to help us with our processes in halal, but with every other process around the world that has been automated, it does help with efficiency, time. Okay, it can be costly to put into place to start with, but over time it improves your process. Okay, and reduces that human error as well if we have the algorithms or the programs in place. So with industry integration, we do have the Internet of Things, so the IoT sensors to monitor conditions in real time. Okay, so there's no longer this requirement to wait, you know, till a full process has been completed to see if something is not halal compliant or something's become contaminated or there was some disease risk or a process that's become an issue. we can now see things in real time, which helps us with data mining as well to then see where maybe things are going wrong or they're going right. We can be positive with this. It helps certifiers and processors to also, promote things that we do that are good as well. We can say to the industry, we've integrated technology. We are making sure this industry is, world class, and this is, alhamdulillah, what we have improved over the past 5 years, maybe. Okay. We've got cloud systems now that enable audit transparency. Everything's backed up to cloud, even your iPhones and laptops. Okay, so we don't lose any of that data, inshallah. An interesting one is digital twins. So now we, in the animal welfare world, we create digital twins of animals. So I recently saw an article where a digital twin of a cow was created, which then helps them with welfare and disease issues and oversight in like a real-time setting, or by using the twin to change parameters and do research, which we can then reflect onto the real animal or in the real system. Okay, so digital twins is a big thing that's becoming very real now, and it's very helpful because you're not necessarily upsetting the animal, for example. You can use the digital twin instead. So the idea is that if we can integrate all of these systems, we can strengthen that halal integrity. Okay, and like I said, we can promote to the industry. And you know what? We can even promote outside of the industry to people that maybe have a negative or a compromised view of halal, or say we're in the past, we're backwards, we don't integrate. Well, we can say, well, actually, we're using these world-class 2026 systems to make sure that our supply chains and our ethics are on point. Okay. So there are some ethics with automations. We do have risks. So over-reliance may weaken accountability. Okay, if we suddenly start putting technology into place, we may become lazy, and we don't want that. Like I was saying earlier, we need to still keep an element of human reliance going on here, especially with halal, because we have that accountability to Allah. Okay, we want to be sure that what we are providing and consuming is halal. Even though the technology makes it easier for us potentially, we don't want to over rely on it. I think we're all seeing that now with AI, people using ChatGPT and Claude, Copilot. We're learning, we are losing, the next generation are losing the ability to be creative and to write. Okay, our literacy is going down because we can just go onto AI and we can say to it, write me X, Y, Z. I want it in this context with this specific language. I can say to it, I want formal English. I'd like informal English, and it will literally write it for me. I don't even have to think. And this is making us a little bit lazy. Okay, so we want to keep our ummah, we don't want to get lazy. So over-reliance can be a big risk for us with this. We can have algorithmic bias and data gaps. So this is a little bit more technical, something a little more out of my expertise. I mean, I love technology, don't get me wrong, but I can be a complete technophobe when I want to be. But essentially, computers and AI are built on coding and algorithms. So we need to make sure that we have the skills, actually. We need to have the skills within the Ummah to check our algorithms regularly and look at our data gaps to make sure that our compliance and integrity is still there while we are using this technology. And I think something from a more compassionate or ethical side is ethical judgment cannot be automated. At the end of the day, we are humans. We have compassion, we have empathy, we have mercy, alhamdulillah. So a robot doesn't have that. It may tell you, AI can tell you constantly, oh, yeah, I think, I feel, but it doesn't. The algorithm's just been told to say these things to us. Okay, so we still need our ethical judgment, especially where like animals and healthcare are involved. We still need to take care of each other as beings. Okay, and we can't automate that. We can't automate our empathy and our compassion. So it's just something to be aware of. And we want our technology to remain auditable and transparent as well. We don't want any of our documents to go missing. So ideally, cloud uploads help with that. And I think we, as an industry, benefit from knowledge sharing. So even just being able to be on Zoom here this morning, afternoon, wherever you are, having the technology here to talk to each other around the world and share our knowledge is great. You know, if you think about this 15, 20 years ago, we would have to fly to the country. We may have slower knowledge sharing, whereas now we can literally reach out to each other after this session and say, do you know what, I'd really like to know more about your company and your research here and how you audit things, what technology you're using for your processes, and we can send it. It's just there, the tip of our fingers, alhamdulillah. So just to get into the more Islamic ethical frameworks, so we are commanded to eat halal and tayyib, so we need wholesome and pure food and products for us. Our anima, so our trust and responsibility, not just in the industry with each other, but promoting this out to consumers, halal and non-halal. Okay, we need to be we need to be seen as trustworthy. We're Muslims at the end of the day. Having ihsan and excellence and compassion, you know, that works in with all the things that we do from a business perspective, education, or processing of halal products. And having accountability before God and society. So to Allah, what are we providing each other? How are we using animals? How are we creating pharmaceuticals and cosmetics? You know, we need to think, especially alhamdulillah in the month of Ramadan, what is our accountability to Allah here? Are we just going to put these technology systems in place because it's quick and easy and we can make more money, but we don't really care what the output is here? Or are we going to put these into place because we want a tailored product? We want excellence. Okay. So with regards to governance and oversight, we still need human scholars and certifiers. They still remain essential. Not just because maybe technology might fail, but because we still need to maintain this knowledge within our communities. We need to still be creating jobs for the next generations. Okay, they need to be aware of what halal is. This is becoming watered down as the generations go on. They're just like, yeah, I eat halal. So what? Where is it coming from? We need to teach them. We still need to have these skills. Okay, what if data fails? What if technology fails? What if electricity fails? How are we going to keep this oversight going if we don't have the physical knowledge? We should have ethical review boards of AI systems. So a lot of AI is still unregulated. You've probably seen in the media lots of issues with AI printing out or producing things that have compromised people's health, for example, or have gone wrong, given bad decisions that people have then followed. So we still need to have these ethical review boards that are the human impacts of this and what we're using it for. And it helps with that transparent standards and auditability and our international cooperation as well. I know we have a lot of things going on internationally. Just trying to get our basic standards aligned is hard, but the world's moving very, very fast with this. Okay, AI is not slowing down, technology is not slowing down, so we need to keep on top of it. So just some global case study examples. So we have AI-driven traceability systems. They have been piloted in halal supply chains. If anybody is on here that actually uses it, it'll be nice to hear, you know, how that's going. If you think there's still a lot of human input or whether you can sit back. Blockchain platforms, they enhance the certification transparency and real-time monitoring as well. So improving that welfare, especially in the farming industry. Precision livestock farming, for example, is being used a lot, and it's quite well developed as well. So this is just like a roadmap that I just wrote down. Doesn't necessarily have to be in this order or implemented at all. But first off, I think the first step is an ethics first policy framework. Because we do have religious requirements, we do have ethical requirements. We should really put those boards into place first as an oversight. Then having those digital traceability options. In a lot of countries, halal labeling is an issue. there's only so much you can put on a label for something, and there are legal requirements for some labels. So maybe using QR codes, for example, might be something that we use. It's a tiny little code. It can be scanned on an iPhone if people want to look, maybe. Then the AI assisted compliance tools and international data standards. So sharing that data as well. So benefits to stakeholders specifically. So if you are a halal control body or some sort of producer on here, consumers. So at the end of the day, we can produce as much halal products as we like, but we need consumers to buy it. Okay, so if the consumers have trust and transparency in your certification and in your processes, this is good for you from a business perspective. And now non-Muslims as well are looking for that trust and transparency and ethics as well. We have improved compliance within regulation. So ideally, over time, we can start getting rid of any of this halal fraud. I know some of that becomes a legal issue, maybe in your individual countries, but you can assure that then your product specifically has been monitored properly. So then that will feed into your business reputation. So if you will get a reputation of being efficient and ethical, then that's good for you, isn't it? That's good for your revenue, because the consumer and the industry will perceive you as being, you know, a world-class halal certifier or producer. And also animal welfare. So this is something that can't be ignored anymore. Okay, consumers and producers now, they want to know how an animal has been treated before it reaches their plate. The next generation are really hot on this. They're really hot on environment studies and animal welfare. So if we can provide them some sort of measurable improvements that we're doing in the halal industry, whether it's at slaughter or before, or whether it's some sort of testing for a cosmetic or a pharmaceutical, then they're more likely to reach out to you and for your products, because it gives them that compassionate feeling. When they buy your product, they feel like they're doing good and they're giving back. There are barriers, so cost. Technology is not cheap. Okay, putting in precision technology wherever it is along the chain does have a high upfront cost. However, the idea is that as time goes on, then your operational costs within your business supply chains will then go down. So then you can have an overall gross profit that is higher than what it was. I know we see this, like for example, here in supermarkets, they put those automated tills in. Okay, so yes, we have less people working on a till, but now after that upfront cost, consumers come in and they just scan their own products and leave. And actually the turnover of people going in and not having to queue is better for the retailer. Okay, so over time, it does help with that. We do have digital literacy and training needs. So a lot of halal training courses or agriculture courses or food standard courses. I mean, alhamdulillah, we're all very well educated in these areas. But where's our digital training? Like learning coding and AI is a completely different area. It's a completely different degree, completely different course, and it's not easy to learn. Like learning coding is another language. So we need to somehow incorporate those training needs within our supply chains. Otherwise, you'll get auditors that turn up and they're very good at the holistic approach and the manual monitoring. But what do they actually know of what's going on with the whole computer data thing? It may be completely over their head. We need to look at data governance and privacy as well. We don't want any cybersecurity risks in our supply chains. And cross-border regulatory alignments as well. So we all have different policy. So trying to get those unified for international trade as well. So the future outlook, obviously that unified standard, traceability systems, AI-assisted welfare certification would be helpful in our chain. So it's not just about monitoring slaughter alone and onwards. Can we use AI to then show in our halal certification how the animals were raised or any other sort of testing that's been done or breeding or transport? Having ethical technology standards. So that's already been highlighted. not just by me, but across the globe in media outlets as well, that there is unregulated AI going on. So how can we control that? And we want halal as a global benchmark for ethical consumption, whether you're Muslim or not. Using AI and technology will help with that. People have lots of trust in computers rather than humans. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. But yeah, we want to become a benchmark for that. That's what we're aiming for. So just key messages. So technology does enhance trust. Ethics preserves our trust. And then the halal industry, alhamdulillah, inshallah, will lead with both of those as being trustworthy and ethical. Okay, and that is all from me.
Thank you, Miss Gemma, for providing the insights and your experience in implementing halal AI for animal welfare. So we hope that you will stay with us because after the third speaker, there will be a panel discussion, and I have seen that in our chat box there are active questions with regards with technology and as well as the topics we are discussing today. Thank you again, Ms. Gemma. Okay. And now we are inviting Dr. Damir Alihodzic, Director of Agency for Halal Quality Certification from Tuzla, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. I hope you can
Waalaikumsalam
hear me.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, it's clear, alhamdulillah.
And I'm trying to see my okay, it's here.
Okay.
Okay, let me just share my presentation because yeah, this is quite early morning, so very good morning from Bosnia because we are 2 hours before Mecca or before Istanbul time.
Okay.
Okay, I hope you can see my presentation, right?
Alhamdulillah, it is clear and the audio is also good, Dr. Damir.
Excellent. So I can continue with my presentation, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, my subject is traceability, transparency, and accountability in digital halal ecosystem. Yeah, later on we will see that's very important of these words like traceability, transparency, and accountability. Even a halal ecosystem is very important. So now in general in halal industry, actually in halal market, we can have some challenges, and that challenges is mostly for consumer. I can see and I can how can I say, from my experience of our halal certification body, because I'm in halal certification body, and our focus is always to have some kind of transparency for the consumers, for the halal consumers. And very often consumers have concern about how can consumers verify halal authentication, authenticity in complex supply chain. And as I mentioned, that we as a certification body, our focus is halal consumers, and especially because we are non-governmental and non-profit organization. So for us, the halal is mission, not just a business. From that perspective, our focus is consumer and transparency for consumers. Okay, when we talk about digital halal ecosystem, later on I will explain about transparency and about authentication of halal products. But let's see the definition of few words and from our topics. And the digital halal ecosystem already is defined by Madam Gemma and Amnah before. They already mentioned some about the digital halal ecosystem, etc. So all of us, we know that halal ecosystem could be connected platform, infrastructure linking producers, linking certifiers and certification bodies, linking accreditation bodies, linking consumers, producers, etc. Actually, we can say that all stakeholders and interest parties for halal that can be halal ecosystem. When we talk about digital, we can say that sometimes, somewhere in some processes, we can digitize some processes. We already saw the presentation of our system Gemma, that AI can help us in even in certification body during the audit, during the documentation, etc. That some digital some technology can help us and improve some halal and improve even in during the certification, during the audit, and even during the analyzing halal products. So the other words and definition is very important from every certification body. Even it is, we can say, it is standardization word and definition. It is traceability, and traceability means we should track every steps, and that's what it is very important. And the traceability is very important, especially for halal products, from production, from farm, from the beginning. Every step should be halal during the production. Raw materials must be halal, and distribution and warehousing, distribution and processing all of them should be halal. Even during the retail, during the warehousing on the market should be on halal side, should not be cross contamination, etc. And of course, about retail, it is very important to be packaging in package, and to be label and how can I say? I need one word that I can remember. To be applied halal logo and to recognize is it halal or not. When we talk about transparency, another word is very important for. I didn't mention here about traceability. Traceability is important from producer, is important from certification body. It is important for accreditation body. But for us, for certification body, it is most important to check from the end of production to the first production, to go to the raw materials. From certification body, from accreditation body, they have to know about does certification body check every step in halal production. For producers, they need to know in every step, is it halal in this, from raw materials or from warehousing to raw materials. Every step should be halal. So traceability is very important, and it is important. We will see later on some examples. It is important for digital halal ecosystem. Transparency in the information flow, it is open information flow. And for us, it is very important for consumers to access certification details instantly through mobile application, through other type of technology, from web page, from other database, etc. But for them, it is important to be how can I say, to be sure, to be sure, is it that product that they are buying, is it halal or not, and what certification body certified that product, is that product certified by reliable and accredited and recognized certification body, but most important is that certification body reliable, and can we trust to that certification body, and can we trust to that halal product, is it certified, etc. And very important, real time, it's important to have information in real time, and it is important for every stakeholder, we can say, that should to have information on real time. And standardization data, yes, is very important. Later on, I will say that if we use standardized information, standardized data across certification body, we will eliminate confusion, and we can help each other, and we can have a system, and we can developing system in the future for the better information and for better purpose. This is an example verification of halal products by scanning EN or barcode. So as I know that Verify Halal, they are using same system like we are using. Later on I will maybe I will show the system. So when you now you can all of you you can scan this QR code or type on browser on this our web page, and when you scan or type this web page, you will go to this our web page, and you can install that application on your phone, and you can download it for your phone. It is, of course, our application, and as I mentioned, that our focus is customer satisfaction. Actually, halal consumers. We always trying, and we always pushing our clients to implement halal logo and to put on label our halal logo. So yes, most of them, and 95% of our our clients, they are putting and labeling our halal logo on their halal certified products. So some of them they didn't, because of some they have some reason, their own reason. So because of that, we are always trying to share information about halal certified clients and halal certified products. So we developed this application for consumers. Okay, when we scan this, what is important? This EAN code, EAN or barcode, it is common. How can I say, common for all products in the world, as I know. So every product in the market should have this barcode. When we scan barcode, we will have information: is that product halal certified or not halal certified by our agency? Okay, we will have name of product, we will have product producer, name of producer, and some other data. When we scan this product, we will have that information. And of course, additional information, we will have companies, halal certified companies by our agency. We will have information about halal certified products. All halal certified products can be here, and we can find our categories. And most important that I mentioned, because we are using same technology, same standard for application, we have barcode scanner we are using for that. As Madam Amnah mentioned from Serunai comments, mentioned that they have many countries and many certification body recognized by JAKIM. We as an agency, we are recognized by JAKIM, and we are in verify halal information. Our products are in their database and their application. So when we scan by their application, verify halal, when we scan some of our products, for example, this one, and we will have same information like we have in our web page. So we are using same technology, barcode, both of these organization, so it can be worldwide checked by this products certified by us. So if we, for example, use all of halal certified bodies in the world, and if we use the same technology, we can have every halal certified products in the world. If we scan barcode, we will have it on our on phone. Is it halal certified or not halal certified, and information about halal certification body. So when we have information about halal certification body, then we will know, and consumer can know, is that certification body reliable, and is that certification body accredited, can we trust to that certification body? Because I know a lot of certification bodies, especially in Europe, especially in our region, they are not accredited, they are not reliable, and they are not trustable. They are certifying just how can I say, just to issuing paper for some companies, and they are do not providing audit and the other procedure according to accreditation standard. So very often we have fraud in the market, especially we as a certification bodies. We know that every time when we trying to, and every time when we providing audit, that audit can be certification audit, initial, or can be control audit. When we providing audit, sometimes we are facing that with fraud certification and fraud, some of that certification is not valid, etc. Of course, it is not. This example is our friend of ours, halal certification body, very trustable certification body. Just for information, that QR code can be, especially for us, for certification bodies, is it really helpful technology that we can use it for to have information in real time, just to scanning QR code, and we will check is that certificate valid, or that certificate is not valid. I know we have a few examples that especially during the accreditation accreditation assessment, and during the witness audit a few years ago, it was happened to our company that we goes providing witness audit. There was one certificate. It was, I think, from somewhere from Europe, I think from Poland, and we found that that certificate for some raw materials is not. How can I say? We saw it. Something is not right with that certificate, and that certificate that wasn't applied QR code. And I know that certification body, and I know director of that certification body, and I sent to him this picture of that certificate, and asked him about, is that certificate valid or not. And he of course, when you set with WhatsApp or other type of how can I say, the picture of it, you never know, someone will be online to answer you immediately or something like that, and I have to wait sometimes maybe a few hours or something to answer me on that information, is that certificate valid or not. And few hours later, he answered me that certificate is not valid because it is expired. But someone is that maybe producer or maybe some distributor that certificate uh, or write some dates and etc. So should be to prove that it is that certificate is okay and it is valid and is in date. So this is very important that using QR code like this one, we can immediately prove that is that, and check is that certificate valid and is that certificate okay. So accountability for halal products, accountability and clear responsibility is on halal certification bodies and for producers. Certification bodies verified traditional and audit trails for halal certification issued. So, of course, producers and manufacturers compliance obligation with panelist for evaluation clearly defined. And but yes, we can say that responsibility on certification body. So we, as a certification body, we have to find a way how to all time provide and how to all time provide information for halal consumers. Is that product, is that client, is that company is trustable and halal certified, and we as a certification body have to be trustable and have to be recognized and to be accredited and follow all procedure to be on the right way. So a lot of technology, digital technology, can help us. And for example, as I mentioned, and two example about barcode and QR code, how can help us in real life, in practice, we can help us in halal industry. Already mentioned blockchain is it a set of technology that used in digital technology, in digital ecosystem, a halal ecosystem. Blockchain already mentioned by Miss Gemma Ali. QR code already mentioned that can be used, and a lot of certification body, they are using QR code just to verify halal certification in real time. We still unfortunately, because of some reason, we still, as an agency, we are not using QR code for halal certificate. But yes, in next period, we are planning to use it because we should override some issue we had it in our system. And but yes, of course we are using barcode for halal certified products for consumers. Yes, cloud platform, centralized data storage with secure access for authorized parties can be used. AI analytics, we already heard about AI technology in some processes can be used in a digital. But we have benefit, especially consumers and all of us, when we talk about halal, all of us consumers on the first place. And we as a, how can I say, as a players in halal industry, is certification body, accreditation body, and standardization body. For all of us, and all of us, we are consumers, right? And all of us, we are using halal products. We should use halal products, and very important that we have information about halal products on the on real time and to be confident in halal products. Other benefit is operational efficiency, automated process, reduce certification cost. Yes, could reduce certification cost, but still we need certifiers and we need certification bodies for certification, and it's still it will cost some money. Of course, it will fraud prevention, real-time monitoring detects and prevents counterfeit certification. We can prevent some certification bodies, some distributors, and yeah, we can in real time check is that certificate valid in real time. We check if we are using some technology in real time. We can check is that certificate halal logo, halal products certified, and etc. Is it trustable or not? And streamlined compliance opens international trade opportunities. We will have opens and yeah, market access for that. For conclusion, digital halal ecosystem solve trust and verification challenges. Traceability, transparency, and accountability work together. It is important even for us, for all of us. Traceability, transparency, and accountability is important. Technology enables real-time compliance monitoring. We can, in real time, immediately we can check is that certificate, if we use your QR code, is that certificate reliable or trustable or not? Is it valid or not? We can real-time real-time check is that product halal certified or not, etc. Benefit include cost saving and market expansion. Yeah, this is, if you scan this list of halal this QR code, you will have a list of halal certified products, and you will have our database and application. So that's all from me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dr. Damir Alihodzic, for sharing of your institution as well as your organization's initiative for halal certification, and also for sharing the QR code. Inshallah, we encourage everyone who attend to also refer and try out on yourself, perhaps today before you all break fast, to scan what available halal products is available in Bosnia through the QR code. It's very interesting and very enlightening, and also to encourage those visitors to come to Bosnia, because now we know that there will be lots of halal food and we will not be lost, inshallah. Thank you again. Okay, now we will come to the much awaited panel session, because I believe technology is a really good solution to overcome the halal headache, especially when it comes to manual audits and then the documentations. Okay, so for participants, you can ask the questions. I will go through the chat box. And before this, there are inquiries to join the WhatsApp group, and the organizers, Sir Noor, have shared the link and encouraged to share through the chat WhatsApp group also. And we have seen various continents experience in doing this, from Malaysia, from UK, as well as from Bosnia. Okay, now is the panel sessions. We know that in terms of the authority, okay, so Miss Amnah or Miss Gemma or Doctor, what do you think in terms of the governance and authorization? Who ultimately define the halal integrity in a rapidly evolving technological environment? This is tough because as I heard from Madam Amnah just now, around 95 to 96% of certifying body worldwide is still dependent on manual record, data keeping, and audit. So perhaps you can give your viewpoint, Madam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Alina. A very good presentation, Dr. Damir and Gemma just now. So I enjoy that very much. So just now I have through the chat group, Dr. Ashik Al-Haji Madugu said, posed a question as well, which tie with your question just now, Dr. Alina. Can automotive system replace human monitoring, surveillance, and evaluation in halal certification system? So the truth is, human is a very strange mammal. Not although you're a Muslim, although you profess to have a high integrity. I'm not putting anybody on the bad light, but in general, there is bad and good people. So this is where, when we work with Interpol, the people that we never suspected are the culprit of the system. So when people said farm to fork, it sounds lovely. We have full integrity from farm to fork. But the truth is, it requires the technology and human to work together to make it work. This is my opinion. I'm sure Dr. Damir and also Gemma can share their feelings as well. So we view that as technology is just a tool. Okay, as you know today, from AI, everything, it become more sophisticated. Look at the robots, the Android, even restaurant one day will not have human being there. It's already in China, the supermarket is manned by robots. So, but data is data. So for us, we love data. So having a correct data is the key thing, but it involves so many elements there: human being, tools, processes, integrity, yes, as Dr. Damir and Gemma mentioned just now. But how do you make the whole system toiban? That's the problem. So my answer to it is impossible to have 100% solid, 110% beautiful and true. But we must try. We must try. If we don't try it and we do not replace it with a better and better system, like mentioned now, the abattoir system has IoT, X-ray, with AI, blockchain, whatever you mentioned just now. But at the end of the day, it's the human that manages that place. So to answer Dr. Ashik just now, to replace human monitoring, no, we do need human monitoring. It's impossible not to have human there, in my opinion. And for us, that's why we believe in JAKIM, because JAKIM is monitoring the certification body that monitor the industries around them. All right, so the reason I mentioned just now, 95% of, we surveyed almost 300 certification bodies continuously, and they try to improve themselves as well. But certification bodies are nice people as well, where most of them, they do certification, they're NGO, and when they receive the money, they give back to the society. They build hospitals, they give free food to the community. So trust and human work hand in hand. And this is where the government bodies need to be there to make sure to monitor the officials, the law. Yes, we have law. Actually, Malaysia have this law since 10 years, 10 years ago under domestic trade. We can net people that have fake halal. But why until today we still have fake halal in Malaysia? So in conclusion, it's impossible to eradicate 100%. For us, technology is a tool that we must use to perfect the system. Today, I don't believe the system is perfect because it's need, I'm talking about overall, but it need the human to be, to go in hand with the technology to make it work. And of course, yes, we being Muslim, we believe in being trustworthy, we believe in doing good, but unfortunately, not every facet of human being have that ability, I'm sorry to say, yeah? It's between them and God. And money, that's another problem, money. You know, it can cloud people's mind, can cloud people's judgment and certification. So I hope, you know, with more education, this integrity in the heart, you know, to serve Ummah is really genuine, that we must continue to profess and to educate the world. So I guess I leave it to Gemma and Dr. Damir now.
Okay, Ms. Amnah, we listen from Madam Gemma and Doctor from your viewpoint concerning about this issue.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with all of those points. Some of it we've covered in our presentations, but I think as well, something that I've always said since sort of joining this industry and getting involved is we have our laws and policy to do with our food standards or our pharmaceuticals, whatever it is that we're producing as halal. But as an industry, even with regulating AI, for example, I feel like we need to go above and beyond. Obviously, we have to meet the laws of our land. We have to make sure we are legally compliant because that's, you know, what our governments expect. But we do have a responsibility because of that God consciousness to effectively be better than our policy and our standards. So they may regulate AI, they may put laws in place that we can and can't do with it. We may have our set standards for halal integrity, but we still need that human element and those trustworthy people to make sure that we are going above that standard. So it never falls short, which is something to work on, and it won't be easy. Like Sister was saying, you do get people that are money focused in every single industry. So I think it's just a case of being able to elect some sort of maybe like an ethical board that's then recognized with our halal control bodies, for example, or any other producer to then have an oversight and use the data. Like we end up with data. So what are we doing with the data? Are we doing good with the data? Are we leaving it there? Are we, you know, putting projects? It's becoming a very project-focused industry where we're improving processes. It's not just about business KPIs or selling to a consumer. We're now having to look at the broader aspect of this. It's moving very quickly. But that said, we need to also think of the Muslim nations that aren't as far ahead of this. You know, we, alhamdulillah, we're privileged. We're living in a time or an area where we have the money to implement these systems. How can we use our data to then educate or inform maybe, you know, the poorer nations, the different demographics within our ecosystems as well, so they don't get left behind with this technology as well, even more so than they are already. I think that's another ethical consideration of technology is, you know, not just having the rich nations who can afford all this technology just taking over completely. You know, to some people, just having halal in general is a privilege for them. So how can we actually help them with our knowledge of AI and technology? You know, you were saying, Sister, that a lot of companies will give their profits to charities or schools or hospitals. Maybe we should also make sure that we give some of our money to those other nations that can't afford this technology and help them have it somehow as well. It's just another consideration.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Gemma. I think that concerning about data, consumers nowadays are well informed and not illiterate compared to decades ago. So do data also have expiry date? Because consumers want information in real time. They expect it to be accurate, accessible, and fast on the spot. And also, how do we separate the elements of mistakes or bogus information or false misrepresentation, or perhaps like expired halal certification or fake halal certificates. So who actually compiled that, and then in terms of ethics, who have access to it? Can it be wrongly used, or how do it in the long run maintain the integrity? I think this is a big challenge for us all, because as we know, the halal system is still fragmented, and adaptation and adoption really takes time, because to set up, of course, the infrastructure will be very costly. So what do you think about that?
Dr. Damir, or I put, maybe you have not spoken, maybe I should give it to you.
Yes, Dr. Damir, and then after that, the viewpoints, because I see that there are complexity in this area. Yes, we had started very well on a sound footage, but more needs to be done based from the
Right.
data statistic of Miss Amnah of your 95 or 96%. There is still a lot of work to be done. So I am
Yeah.
trying to fuzzily or organically, I'm trying to join the dots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe before Dr. Damir answer, I just answer very quick, since you emphasized that. We work with many governments, so government themselves in the OIC and non-OIC. And this is where you mentioned just now, the consumer become more intelligent. That's mean the industries are become more intelligent. The buyers are become more intelligent. The exporter, the importer become more intelligent. So they know who is the first ranking, second ranking, third ranking in the market. And this is quite interesting, although there's no specific body that, congregate everything in one full list. But the industries themselves are intelligent enough to say, these are the top 5 that I like, or the top 3 that I like, with the specific certification bodies. So because of that, there's a demand. So when I go to Japan or to Korea, they would tell me which certification body that they want to be labeled in their product. So this is quite, I will not name anybody, but I'm trying to say that this is the consumer themselves plays a very strong role in making sure that the authority also have to back up and also have to do their function well. Dr. Damir, perhaps you'd like to say something. Yeah.
Just want to mention and continue with your information about AI technology and human resource, etc. But yes, you as a company, as a Madam Amna, you are working with data, right? Some data should be provided by someone. Yes, that someone is, for example, producer and certification bodies. Yes, in that certification body, working people, right? And now we can, for example, we can, when you mention, we have to, how can I say, comply human and people with technologies. And yes, very often human are not reliable and unreliable. Sometimes I agree with you. You mentioned that some people are not reliable, but you can see now that even data, even AI technology misused for some reason, that sometimes some of people are using a technology for providing some video. That video is not true, and that video, or not video, even other information and other data, they are not true. So most important that all of us have to work in for one purpose, for one goal, for to be reliable in every aspect, for as a certification body, to be reliable and to work for halal, and you as a company for producing AI technology to easy for everyone, to make it easy, everyone, easy life for me as a certification body, easy life for consumer to check every products, etc. For Gemma Ali to be she can use AI technology, she can use every type of technology for animal welfare, for their job, for everything. So we, all of us, we are using and most important, in what purpose we are using that data and technologies, and yes,
So for
to
me,
make it easy.
yeah, Dr. Damir, I agree with you. Madam Alina, collaboration is the key, you know. I need to work with everybody. I need to work with the certification bodies, with the consumer themselves, with authorities. So for us, it's a big job. So we continue doing it. We still have a long way to go. For us, collaboration, integrity. Inshallah, one day. I'm already 62. I already am in this business 20 years. Maybe the new generation to take it up. Like Gemma, she's young. Right.
Yes, I believe that this is a necessity because we are talking about from previous days speakers. They say that we need to think along the line of sustainability and continuity, and then an engagement of not only the suppliers, the manufacturers or industry, but also the government agencies, the end users, the consumers, the young ones. Okay, so there are also marginalized groups, perhaps like the elderly of countries who are not well endowed in terms of being a poor country, not accessible to the technology. So we cannot leave them behind also. So I believe that whatever that is being discussed here, Sister Rosie, who will be at the end of the day 7, if I'm not mistaken, she will also do some summary for the everyday's summary of the outcome of this knowledge sharing, and also to perhaps summarize and to propose it to relevant authorities who might find this workable and useful as a continuity. So it's not just like one-off kind of sharing. We hope that today's event will be a starting point. Actually, we have lots of issue because like the authority question, you talk about Interpol. Okay, so who owns the database for fraud or for fake halal certificates? The companies, and then who have access to it? So I think this is like a bone of contention, because like for Malaysia, when we step out of Malaysia, we are not having we don't have the legality to take action because it's based on that particular country. So who ultimately define the halal integrity, and then to decide the laws and authorities? And then we also have the governance question, and how it should be strengthening the halal assurance rather than creating fragmentation. Yes, we know that now the trending will be setting up of apps. So how do we actually plug in so that, as Madam Amnah said, it is collaboration, sharing, working, collaboration, sharing, working, revising, auditing. So it's like 24/7, 365, non-stop, forever, and from the old to the middle age to the young. Okay, it's not like okay, you get the halal certification today, and then wait for 2 years from now before 6 months is expire, and that's it. No, it's like continuous real time maintenance. And besides that, we also have the issue of institutional governance mechanism, so that there will be abuse, prevention or misrepresentation, because from the context of majority Muslim countries like Malaysia, multiracial, and Indonesia, we have the system in place, or like the OIC. Okay, the Muslim majority. How about the Muslim minority, whereby the laws and regulation may not be that Muslim friendly? And also, the last and not least, so I'm opening the questions for all three of you. Future readiness. How, like Madam Amnah says, is collaboration. Yes, it's tough. It's tough to do, but it is not impossible. So perhaps the three of you can also comment and give some insights to us as an audience.
Future readiness. Okay. So maybe Gemma wants to start first.
Okay, so obviously we, as well as trying to collaborate with each other, we also have to run our businesses and make sure that you have halal in the first place.
Yes.
But I think having these conferences and when we have our expos around the world, whatever it is that we do throughout the year, I think it's beneficial to maybe in each area have some sort of separate meeting or something about this specific issue. So people that are attending the conference can attend this and use that as an area to, put out ideas of how we can monitor this, where we go forwards, like what's happening now, what we can do next, how beneficial it's going to be. Maybe pick a representative or two from that particular region. And if we did that across the globe, eventually those representatives could then, like how you elect a board of governors basically or executives, they could then be the representatives for specific AI issues, or blockchain, whichever it is you've discussed. That would help with the initial point of collaboration. We need to understand each other's pain points first. You cannot go forward with a project unless you understand the issues and the challenges that we all have first. Because you have to overcome your internal issues to then go outside of that. Otherwise, we end up with that fragmentation. And then, maybe it could just be that we end up having a body, so to speak, which is specific for technology increase. And then those people get re-elected maybe every year, and change as per expertise. I mean, it's a starting point that we could do this. Obviously, we have our country policies that may differ. So that's why I was saying that we should, as an industry, go maybe above and beyond those policies and make sure we have something in place. We all live by, for example, Sharia law. So why can we not all create our own agreed technology integration? Maybe that's me just being a bit, sometimes I can get carried away with my ideas. So, but yeah, I think it's beneficial to, we come to the conferences and we present our ideas and all of our knowledge, but when do we actually pull that together when we meet together and then spread that knowledge? So yeah, maybe having those discussions individually to pick some sort of ethics board maybe for technology. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe Dr. Damir now like to say something before I say my last. Yeah.
Okay. Just a few words about that. Yeah, the future readiness, yes. Collaboration, as Amnah already mentioned, we as a certification body, we have our problems, and we have sometimes need some solution from, for example, companies like you, from data. We have data, we can provide data, and we will have some solution from development company for AI technology, for other types of technology, and to provide solution for us. For example, for audit and providing audit on site, or etc. Yes, there is some similar, how can I say, for example, for our goal is not our goal in Bosnia, it is not same goal like you in Malaysia or in Saudi Arabia, or in other Muslim countries, majority Muslim countries and Islamic countries, because we are here, for example, in Europe, and we don't have a regulation for halal at all. We don't have any type of regulation for halal, and for us, most important are standards. And for us in Europe, when I said for us, I mean here in this part of it's halal standard. Halal standard, we can use them to provide and to produce halal products, not law according to governmental law or some, etc. So we have some types of focus, but for sure collaboration is how can I say, from certification body, from industry to developer for AI technology and the other type of technology.
Right, lovely. For me, Dr. Alina, so that was a good question, future readiness, to conclude in conclusion. Rather than, for me, we got to be careful because the consumers are very, very powerful now. They can kill a brand in a second. If they decided they don't want to buy your brand today or your product, is just diminished. So the future readiness, because of the technology, because of the media now, people have become very intelligent. They research in advance if they want to go to the shop. They research in advance before they even want to buy a product. So we got to be ready for that, okay? And for me, data makes sense because people need it. Data is important because people wants to validate whether it's valid or not. So we are just the players here, even the certification bodies, in order to make sure the ecosystem is complete. We talked by my opening by saying that it's almost 5 trillion economy USD, the trade of halal. So everybody moving towards that because unfortunately money and consumer and business goes hand in hand and living, okay, in order for us to have a better education, better medicine, and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of other areas which has not been touched. For example, drugs, medicine, yeah? So almost 90% of medicine are still not 100% halal. There are many other industries, medical devices, for example. These are the new areas that we need to be ready. So again, this again is because of the demand from the consumer. So yes, we need to keep improving. We need to keep changing. The law need to be imposed. There should be people that, the police in a way, to make sure that govern the integrity of halal as well. So for me, future readiness, we need to be ready for the consumer. We need to be ready if the human being become more intelligent. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I travel a lot with Intan around the world. The Muslim and halal has become very sexy word, you know. It's become very special word to everybody, from China to Russia and many more. So this is good thing because I started it 20 years ago. People are still in the dark a little bit, but today everybody knows about it. So this is good. This shows that halal has become part and parcel in our life, in our ISO every day, in SOP every day. We check the restaurant if you want to go. Even when you landed at an alien country or you have never been to another country yet, you still say, hey, is there a halal restaurant? Where's to buy my halal thingy product? So future readiness, we got to be ready because the human become more intelligent, export import has become more intelligent and need good things. I guess I conclude with that, Dr. Alina. Thanks.
Thank you for this sharing of your widely traveled lady, and also to see the context from other global nations with differing experience and viewpoint. Yes, we really need the diversity to work together. And halal is not just for Muslims. Actually, halal is for humanity.
Yeah.
And humanity will really benefit from it due to the transparency and due to the simplicity. I think perhaps we can suggest to the organizer that we also promote the apps that like what you have, and then the apps from Bosnia, apps from Madam Gemma, so that more consumers are aware of it. Okay, the QR code. So because I remembered the speakers from day one and day two mentioning that for the government agency, law regulator, manufacturer, they are very familiar with using it and being accessible to the apps, and they know what to look for. But for the normal layman of consumers, perhaps it's a housewife or is it the elderly or children, they may not even know that it exists or it is too cumbersome So perhaps the general consumer, when they go to the aisle or the supermarket, just lazily take product packaging with the Arabic word halal, so that is good enough, halal and bismillah. But if we were to actually make it easier for them to be aware that by QR code, this is the current way of discerning between between halal, haram, and shubahah services, apps. I think the community will be educated, and then the standards will rise. Yes, Amnah, like you mentioned, the sophistication will increase, and in future, inshallah, not only rich countries will demand this, those from the middle income or from the poor countries will also expect it, because of course we know that from our handphone everybody is accessible to WhatsApp, correct? So WhatsApp is accessible not only to rich or middle income countries, it is also accessible to poor countries. So we hope that halal is not exclusive, is inclusive for everyone, and we do not segregate those from the rich countries, middle income, or from those. Yes, I think what Gemma had mentioned just now about being mindful of those who cannot afford, or some other value proposition as a humanity to bring good. And from the Bosnians' perspective, I think, Doctor, you have a tough time there because you don't exactly have the infrastructure like us compared to Southeast Asia, yet you're able to show the progress through today's presentation, and we look forward that there will be more sharing to come in the future. Okay, hold on. I'm looking into the last round for the chat. Okay, we have seen. Okay, Mr. Keba Langsonko, West Africa, having the pain points of fake halal marks because of low consumer awareness. And then Dr. Ashik Alhaji Maidagu, a student of so had tried verified halal, so need to work with local regulatory bodies. Dr. Sheikh Khaja Arifuddin, okay, thanking Dr. Damir, okay, and Dr. Arif from Tashkent, Dr. Moin Khan, so conducting research at university in New Zealand. Okay, so any more questions reserved? I'm reading the chat. So okay, just 30 seconds more. Okay, from our three presenters. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Okay, the organizers, inshallah, will provide the link of recording for today's session, inshallah. And I would like to thank the very the enthusiasm and the efforts that all our three speakers had put into to share and engage the halal halal business, halal apps, halal whatever, okay, to us. And we hope that for today, as the ending of today's session, it will continue again tomorrow. And we hope that whatever our initiative will be blessed, and Allah will provide us the redha and barakah. And I would like to say thank you again, everybody, for providing such a positive feedback through the chats, and also our three lively speakers who are very energetic despite our Ramadan. Thank you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much. Okay, inshallah,
Thank
we work
you.
together. We need more CB certification bodies to work with us.
For sure. If I can help you, we will help you, inshallah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Alina. Thank you, Gemma, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Alhamdulillah. Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Wassalam.
Alaikum.